Hello everybody and welcome to Forever Cricket on Forever Sports for today's Day 2 wrap-up as South Africa take on Sri Lanka in the first of a 2-test series at Centurion. And I hate people that say I told you so. I've never want to be that person. But a day ago I said that people need to stop throwing the baby out with the bathwater after what was a pretty ordinary day of cricket by South Africa, where Sri Lanka were 320 I think odd, and were batting really well, and South Africa had a pretty poor day with the ball, where they had bowled, had missed their links early on, so Pamela had been punished early, and it wasn't looking great. But what has happened since? South Africa picked up the wickets relatively quickly this morning. Lutus Pamela actually ended up as the leading wicket taker. He picked up 4 wickets today. After seeing all the various comments about how he's useless, he's not good enough for this level, should never play, blah, blah, blah. Some journalists, qualified journalists, sitting there saying that this was the worst side South Africa put out since readmission. Well, the worst side we've put out since readmission are currently sitting on 317 for 4 at the end of day 2. Okay, so I'm not going to sit there saying I told you so, but all I said yesterday was you cannot sit there and make a judgment on a single day of cricket. We were a fifth of the way through. We are now 2/5 of the way through. We are now 40% of the match. And this is, I've always said, end of day 2, you can start making calls and you can start actually seeing how the test is going to play out. And right now, South Africa are looking pretty good to go on to try and either match the total or get very near the Sri Lankan total. And very importantly, and not that we can celebrate this, but Sri Lanka, it's been confirmed that De Silva will not play during the test. He's out for the series, which means that Sri Lanka only have 10 batsmen. Having said that, Kasun Rajita actually walked off today and didn't return, and he's potentially injured. We don't know if he'll bat, but South Africa could potentially need just 8 wickets in the Sri Lankan second innings, to get. So we know it wasn't a good day yesterday. We know the bowlers struggled, but they came back this morning and bowled a lot better. And credit to somebody like Lutus Pamela, who took the beating yesterday. He would have seen a lot of messages. He would have known. He would have been heartbroken last night at what he had done, and he would have sitting there saying, "This was a disaster debut. I didn't do what I wanted to do. I didn't make a good account of myself." But he came in today and he got 3 wickets. And he was on a hat trick. And the second wicket he got this morning was a terrific delivery. So what we saw today was a bowler with potential. And to be fair, there are a lot of people saying, we understand he's got potential, he might not be ready. But what we also need to take into account is that he wasn't supposed to play. He was probably about 4th in line. Rabada should be playing. After him, it would have been Glenton Stearman. So you've got to look at the outside factors. You've got to look at all the factors before you make a judgment. And today, credit to the batting, because Dean Elgar and Aiden Markram came out and they were very, very positive. It's ridiculous that we've had 700 runs and this at the end of day 2. That's a lot of runs. It's been very free-flowing. Our current run rate is 4.4. Dean Elgar and Aiden Markram came out and looked very positive and played very nicely. And big ups to Aiden Markram, who's come back on form during domestically. Look, he didn't kick on, but 68 of 94. I thought he looked very, very good. He had some fantastic straight drives, looked to be very positive, looked back at his best. Dean Elgar fell on 95, and he'll be kicking himself, especially with the way he went out. But he was very positive. He played some very nice shots, and they set a very, very good platform. The first wicket fell at 141 runs. It's the biggest first wicket partnership we've had 2017. Not bad for the worst side since readmission. So this is what I've been saying. I understand that we didn't play particularly well yesterday, but it's a freaking test match. If you understand the game, if you watch cricket, you need to understand that this is a long match. It is a long haul. You've got to look at things day by day by day, and you can't sit there and make a judgment on the entire test on the first day of cricket. South Africa trailed by 79 runs. I'm pretty sure 79 is almost exactly what Sri Lanka got this morning before being dismissed. And at the moment, we've only had 2 players who got less than 20 runs. So Dean Elgar 95, Aiden Markram 68. Rassie van der Dussen came in, was very disciplined, sort of shut up shop, and the Sri Lankan bowlers did get better as they went on. And, they picked up the wicket and he made just 15, not his best performance. And then Dean Elgar fell without a run. And then Quinton de Kock came on, and, it was a bit ridiculous, really. He made 18 of 11. 160, of a strike rate of 163. So I'm not quite sure what the thinking was there. I think he wanted to be quite aggressive. Look, it's not like he went out being aggressive, but I mean, he came out wanting to play shots. And then Faf du Plessis and Temba Bavuma were very aware of the situation, and they batted very well. Faf du Plessis is sitting there on 55 of 81, a strike rate of 67, and Temba Bavuma, who's under so much pressure, everybody always calling for his head, should he be there, shouldn't he be there, 41 of 79. And I actually did a statistical analysis a while back when you look at Temba Bavuma's best innings, when he has scored his runs, when he has made big runs, it is almost 95% of the time when South Africa are under pressure. He's somebody that relishes pressure. Often his worst innings is when he's coming in at 200-300 runs and he doesn't have to do much. But when he goes out in a bit of a tricky situation, he's usually very good at being very good technically and getting us through. So credit to him. They've put on a very good partnership together. And at the moment, the game is in the balance. You can't sit there and say Sri Lanka's on top with South Africa 317 for 4 with 6 wickets in hand. Yes, one more wicket brings in an all-rounder, but there's still runs that can be scored. And, trail by 79 runs, any sort of first inning score of 396 to get to within 79 runs would be considered a very good reply. So South Africa are very much in this test. If they can go on, and I think, look, the big thing is they need to bat tomorrow out. Because at the moment, with the current run rate, they bat tomorrow out, they could be putting on a 150-run lead. So bat tomorrow out, and then on day 4, try and be quite positive or aggressive. And look, batting tomorrow out is a big ask. But try and bat as long as possible, and just small targets. Get to 396, get level, get to 450. Just get there. And then you sit there and say to your bowlers, listen, they are definitely one, potentially 2 batsmen down. If we go and we take early wickets, we can win this test match. And if South Africa go on to win this test match, there will be a lot of people who will have to sit there, hold their hands up and say, we got it wrong. We reacted too quickly. We could go on to lose this test match. I'm not saying that we're playing particularly well, but I'm saying that our batting did stand up today. And our bowling this morning did stand up. It was a day dominated by South Africa because we picked up quick wickets in the morning and we went on to bat very, very well. In terms of, if you look at the Sri Lankan bowlers, the pick of the bowlers was Dasun Shanaka, who bowled 16.5 overs, 2 maidens, 56 runs, and picked up a wicket. The wickets were pretty spread, to be honest. Fernando, Shanaka, Hasaranga, and Kumara all got 1 wicket. Rajita was very expensive before he went off, and Hasaranga and Kumara have been quite expensive. What's been interesting is we've actually gone after the spinner, which is a good tactic for South Africans, because when you can't play the spin particularly well, to try and go after them and to try and make sure they've got quite a high economy, it really does mean that the captain sort of has to begrudgingly continue bowling them. So I would say this test match is very much alive. South Africa proved a lot of doubters wrong today and are firmly back within the test match. So it should be a fantastic day 3 tomorrow. Really looking forward to it. But let me know what you thought of the day down below. I'm just very chuffed that we've responded and had a good day. And this is why you have to look at it session by session by session. Sri Lanka also had a good session today where they took 3 wickets for next to no runs. But South Africa responded. So this is how we talk about test matches and the fact that they ebb and flow and ebb and flow. And you can't just sit there throwing your toys after a single day because you don't know what's going to happen. So it looks like it's primed to be a very interesting test match. A result could very much be on the cards here. And it's pretty much anyone's game at the moment. South Africa probably have the edge simply because they've got 11 fit players, whereas Sri Lanka currently got 9 fit players. So yeah, it's an interesting time, but let me know what you think of the game of the day below. Please do subscribe to the channel, smash like on the video. My name is Steven, and I will chat to you at end of play tomorrow.